Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner and welcome to your latest Chelsea news and Chelsea transfer news for that matter. I mean, wow, what dropped late last night UK time. So earlier on in the UK time you had the press conference, and then later on you have the news side of things, the journalist, the second part of the press conference takes place. I'm pretty sure it took place immediately, but the comments and the quotes come later on UK time. And boy, oh boy, absolute madness. It was a massive bomb that dropped. And you know what? I absolutely like it. I am delighted. I'm actually delighted that the manager has come out so bold and so aggressively and ruthlessly delivering a message that, look, we can talk about options, we can talk about who we have, we can try this, that, the other, but you need to recognize what I'm trying to do in the middle of the park with the defenders, the three defenders at the back, the middle person, what I'm trying to do. And you need to recognize how important that factor is. And you need to also recognize, what are we trying to do this season? What's the ambition? What's the target? This is not the target or the ambition to, let's try other players. Let's see if we can make do. This is not an experiment moment anymore. We are serious now. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've missed out on what Enzo Maresca said, oh my God, he absolutely obliterated Fofana and Badiashile. And look, yes, when it comes to center CB and playing out from the back, he's, absolutely smashed him for that matter. However, what does it mean? What does it mean for these defenders? What does it mean if we do go into the market and try and buy someone to satisfy Maresca's needs? What does it mean for the likes of Acheampong and so on and so forth? Now, before we get into all of those conversations, this is the comment that Enzo Maresca made, ladies and gentlemen, coming from Kieran Gill, one of the Chelsea journalists out there, breaking Enzo Maresca on the need for a centre-back. Wes played 45 minutes in that position. It was the first half against Bournemouth away, if you guys remember last season. Probably one of the worst halves since we started. He's not holding back. Enzo Maresca is not trying to sugarcoat this. The loss of Levi Colwill from that position is huge. Yes, Tosin can fill in, no problems, but Tosin cannot play every single game. We've got a lot of games to play. We've got Champions League, we've got Premier League, we've got the domestic cups. Tosin cannot play every single game. So the loss of Levi Colwill, because it was swapped between Levi Colwill and Tosin to play in that middle center CB. You got the wide CBs, and that middle person is very, very important to the build-up. Benoit playing in the middle, the Conference League final, first half, we were losing 1-0. Again, ruthless aggression from Maresca. We changed him with Levi and won 4-1. I mean, talk about a massive slap in the face for Badiashile. You are never playing in that middle, man. You are never. Even if some parts of the fan base, including me, that once maybe Badiashile comes back, perhaps he's someone who can play in the middle. He can find those passes. But Maresca said, look, we tried this once upon a time, and it did not go well. And as soon as we brought in Levi Colwill, we won the match 4-1 in the Conference League final. It's not the same. The one in the middle, in my way, is so important. Ladies and gentlemen, do we need to hear any more? There are some parts of the fan base who are saying, no, you cannot just keep going to the market and find a solution. Find a solution internally. First of all, Badiashile and Wesley Fofana. Even if we are thinking about finding a solution internally, these two, you can't rely on them. Fofana has barely even played for us in 3 seasons. This is going to be his 4th. In 3 seasons, he's barely even played for us. You can't rely on these people. Badiashile as well. 2nd or 3rd season, I've lost count. How long he's been injured too. And let's be honest, Badiashile has been a suspect for a long time. 1 good game, 3 bad games. 1 good game, 7 bad games. Fofana as well. It's not like whenever he's fit, he's been flawless. Yeah, there's been games where he's been fantastic. But then there's been games where he's been very, very erratic as well. And my brother Fofana is probably more busy online. I don't think this guy is utterly serious. Then you've got Tosin, and Chalobah. No problems. They're going to be the mainstay. Then you've got the kids, Anselmino and Acheampong. Now, I rate Acheampong a lot, and I think there's something about Anselmino as well. But to go into the season, and don't forget, Desarci, he needs to go. I don't know what Desarci is doing. Desarci, brother, you're not part of the plan anymore. You need to move on. Same with Renato Viga. A lot of people talk about Renato Viga. Renato Viga and Chelsea Football Club and Enzo Maresca, it's finito. The bridge is burnt. It's done. It's not going to be repairable anymore. Renato Viga doesn't want to stay at Chelsea. Chelsea don't want Renato Viga. Maresca, I think, does not like Renato Viga. This is why he's not even considered, even after all of this. You'd think, okay, now Levi Colwell's gone. Maybe Renato Viga is someone who can play in that middle of the three CBs, especially when we build up. Now, a lot of people want to say, we don't play with three CBs. Yes, we do, when we build up. When we build up, because the other CB, essentially, if it's Cucurella, he'll become a left back, or if it's Malagusto, he'll become a right back, or if it's Reece James, he'll invert. Right? You're never going to see Levi Colwell, Chalobah, Tosin. It's either going to be Levi Colwell or Tosin, Levi Colwell, Chalobah, and Cucurella. And Cucurella will become that, left back in defense, off the ball. So, yeah, this is how we build up. We generally build up with three. So it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, that, look, as much as we want to find a solution internally, we have to understand why Enzo Maresca is saying here. I think Enzo Maresca is trying to say that, look, one, we need to go into the market and get a defender that can play in that center CB position. Why? Because we're not in that experimental phase anymore. We want to achieve something big this season. Now, look, I get it. Bringing someone new, it's not straight away, it's guaranteed that it's going to work. That's going to take a little bit of time on its own as well. Could be potentially give Acheampong an opportunity in the middle of the park, along with Tosin, swap them around. But that's asking a lot of Acheampong as well. And I'll tell you why, because Enzo Maresca goes on to elaborate what that middle person needs to do. Maresca continues on about the need for a central defender who plays central in the build-up. The one in the middle is in the middle for a reason. He is the one who recognizes situations, breaks lines. It's not the same playing in the middle as the one on the left side. So the one in the middle, you'll notice that we're not utilizing Sanchez that often when it comes to build-up. Sometimes you'll see teams that feel very confident with their goalkeeper will probably have CBs that split and then utilizing the goalkeeper to really build up. We still use Sanchez in the build-up, no problems, but it's that center CB that really recognizes whether to go long, whether to go diagonal, whether to break the lines, controlling the tempo. This is what Levi Colwell was doing at a very good level in the latter parts of the season. Yes, in the earlier parts, even he had a lot of issues adjusting. Even Tosin. And even Tosin started to look better in the latter parts of the season. As the season went on, in the final third, into the Conference League final, into the Club World Cup, it all started to look a lot better. And Enzo Maresca, I feel like now he fully deserves it, ladies and gentlemen. He's done enough. He's shown enough that I deserve to get another CB that can carry out my job. Now, I get it. A lot of people are worried. And I'll tell you why a lot of people are worried. What's going to happen if we do bring another defender in? What's going to happen to people like Acheampong? Because there's news in regards to Acheampong. Manchester City are now the latest one. Bournemouth were linked. Manchester City are interested in signing Josh Acheampong, but Chelsea insists not for sale. Bournemouth loan inquiry also rejected, while Newcastle are monitoring the situation. Wow. Newcastle, Bournemouth, Manchester City going for Acheampong. Obviously, there's a player there. There's no doubts about that. But the problem here is, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Enzo Maresca doesn't want to rely on Acheampong being the middle CB. I don't want Acheampong to leave. I think he's got immense talent, and this is why you've got Bournemouth, Newcastle, Manchester City trying to line him up. And this is coming from Guardian Sport as well. This is coming from a well-recognized source. I don't want Acheampong to be gone. And this is the worry from certain parts of the fan base that Should we really go out there and get a new defender? Shouldn't we just use what we've already got? Sure. But I think we can utilize Acheampong elsewhere. We can utilize him in RCB position. We can even utilize him in LCB position if need be. Yes, we can sometimes use him in the middle, but to completely rely on him and Tosin, that's asking for a lot and trying to go after important things in this season. We already saw Acheampong. He played really well against Bayer Leverkusen, but then there was a mistake. He slipped. Luckily, Leverkusen didn't score off that. This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the conundrum right now. This is the conundrum. And I feel like, look, we should trust what Enzo Maresca is doing because so far he's warranted that. Enzo Maresca's warranted that. Last season, he was asking for a lot of things in January and we didn't give it to him. No problems. He needed to prove himself and he did prove himself right at the end. Champions League qualification, Conference League trophy, Club World Cup trophy. I think now it's time where we can trust Enzo Maresca and back him. That's my personal take. I would love to see our directors and our owners, scouts, really put their heads together and try and solve this situation for Enzo Maresca. But at the same time, don't lose Acheampong. If he needs to be loaned, no problems. But don't lose him on a permanent because I think there's a special player there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts before we move on to the next topic. Let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about this ruthless commentary quotes coming from Enzo Maresca? I mean, what does it even, I guess, what does it say about Wesley Fofana and Badiashile too? Sure, they can't play center CP. It's clear. Enzo Maresca said that. But does he even rate them as defenders? I don't know. Probably doesn't even rate them. The other factor is they're not even available half the time. In fact, more than half the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Enzo Maresca being so ruthless and so upfront. I like it. I personally like it that he's not holding back. He's saying it how it is. Now, if you don't give it to him, then at least he's made it aware. At least no one can say, you know what, Enzo, you never asked for it. He's asked for it. If we don't give him, we don't give him. At least he cannot be blamed. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is what Enzo Maresca had to say about Nicolas Jackson as well. Once again, ruthless aggression. He is training with us, but he is not going to be involved. Straight up, there you go. You train with us, you're not involved. Not playing against Crystal Palace. You didn't participate against Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan in the preseason. You're not involved. You can train. You know the situation already. The window transfer is open. He can leave, and we'll see. There you go. He can leave. Enzo Maresca saying, train with us. You're not involved. Transfer window is open. You can leave. We'll see. And look, the message cannot get any bigger than this. Nicolas Jackson, please get in contact with your agent. I know you have been. Get a move sorted ASAP because it looks like your future at Chelsea Football Club, even though, once again, some parts of the fan base would love to have him, and even myself included, would love to have him as an option. But I know, I get it. Mr. Nicolas Jackson doesn't want to be just another option or, second or third option. He wants to be the main guy. He has been the main guy for Chelsea Football Club, and he doesn't want to get demoted. He wants to go to a club where he can feel important. I get it. So let's do it. Let's move on. Let's, get a club to come and bid properly as well. None of this lowballing bid as well. But once again, ruthless aggression from Enzo Maresca. Now, Enzo Maresca, once again, being very, very upfront and straight up your face as well. This one we might not appreciate, but once again, we have to accept it. This is what Maresca is asking for. On the left side, we have Jamie and Tyreek. So probably also there we need something. It's not just about a better center defender. It's about what we need in this moment. There you go. Gittins is young. Tyreek George is young. I think Tyreek George, once again, I feel like there is a very, very good player there. Needs more time, more development. But looks like Enzo Maresca is endorsing Garnacho move. This is why Garnacho is probably going to happen, and which means Tyreek George is probably going to go on loan because Gittins is also young, because Tyreek George is young. And look, Garnacho is young as well. Garnacho is young, but he's got experience in the Premier League. He's got experience, and looks like our scouting team, sporting directors, owners, they've done the background checks on Garnacho. Other clubs have apparently done the background checks as well on Garnacho, and they've pulled out. We've done the background checks and we said, A-OK. But I think the biggest problem here is that we want Garnacho at our conditions. We want him at 30 million and no more. If Man United keep haggling about 50 million, it's not going to happen. But this is the thing. Look, centre backs, yeah, we appreciate. Left wing, we can still appreciate, but the target, I feel, is not suitable in terms of Garnacho. But it is what it is. I'm going to accept whatever Maresca is asking for in this season because I feel like he has deserved that. And I want to give him every opportunity to make this season a very, very special one. It's a season where experimentation's over, ladies and gentlemen. No more experimenting. It's time that we started to be serious in the Premier League. It's time we're back in the Champions League. We be serious there too. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially the central defender position, the center CB in a back three build-up. How do you feel? Should we do internal solution or should we listen to Enzo Maresca? Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya.